that people sometimes overlook with the Electro Dragons is the spell placement.
Yeah, that's right. And at least we're going with the air attacks, which is the dragons, not electro dragons. I'm sorry, maybe later, but still, it is going to be air, and they have at least one electro dragon in this army composition. But still, this is going to be the drag bat. Out of all of the dragon attacks which we have seen so far, this is the most successful combination. And, well, the Big Dragon did not have that much fun because the Black Mine over there. And now it's all about the dragons are now getting played into the top left side. The town being kind of far back, but I feel like, once again, the blimp is supposed to reach that and going to take down the town hall.
Yeah, and you can see that one sweeper right down to the bottom. He is going to have to be careful with that as he sends the blimp through, but I don't think it's going to cause too big of an issue because the dragons have pretty nice pathing here, Itsu, with the king and queen able to take out the defenses just into that compartment. The dragons are moving through very swiftly here, taking down the town hall, and this base is going down pretty quick, you have to say. With the ice golem to protect the wizard tower at the top, we can now see the bats moving into the base. There's not a lot of splash damage left, just the scatter shot and the wizard tower, which you could freeze together, but the dragons are in that area to tank pretty much anyways.
Yeah, this is looking so good, even though you have to say the Tesla farm itself is dealing a lot of damage to those bats because they're so on a like a quick fire rate. So let's see, with the dragons overpowering the scatter anyway, we have one last freeze the scatter and the queen together. That's exactly what he's doing. And, well, HG family are keep doing what they have started last week. Keep smashing bases with those air synergies. And it's just so impressive. As I said, dragons so far in this tournament had not the best success rate. But if something was successful, then it was the drag bat strategy. And that's exactly what we see right here. So, really great approach. Those bats are flying into the backhand, even though... Okay, the red mine. But either way, that's too late. The dragons are going to finish off the base anyway.
Fantastic start for HT family. You could say that the dragons are a pretty good alternative to the E-Drags, particularly if you find a base where you can't chain as well. I think a lot of the buildings were chainable there, but just deciding that towards the back end of the base, he could swoop the bats around. And I think if we were to compare that attack to the one we seen at the end of the last war, the dragon attack, where it was the pure dragon style, you can see why the bats are a good choice, because it just eliminates a lot of the damage from the dragons, and they are super quick. If you can take out an area where there's limited splash, they just wipe it out very fast.
Yeah, that's right. And time is always an issue, but let's concentrate on the Vatang side, because as we said, they were impressive last week. They had, in my opinion, I think we both mentioned already, the most impressive war on the day number 2 against Method to Madness. And this was an impressive match to watch from both sides. So I guess we're going to look at a lot of Lalo attacks, so air as well, but no dragons most likely. And then there may be 1 or 2 queen charges, which they like to throw in over there as well. Let's see if we're going to being able to witness some lock launcher attacks once again, because I feel like this is liked by a lot of those pros in Vatang. So that would be my prediction, going being super happy to see about some of those Lalo attacks, especially with the lock launcher.
Well, we did see some overpowering Lalo attacks by Vatang last week as well. And like you said, very creative log launcher attacks, but it's not going to be for this one. The hybrid will be starting us off, has an invisibility spell, probably for the Royal Champion, unless he's maybe going to use that for hybrid pathing. But looking at the base, I wouldn't have thought so. Let's just find out, I guess, it's with the Queen charge beginning from the 4 o'clock area of the base.
Yeah, now he's slowly trying to make it into that town direction. The first black one already found, so this is telling him, okay, let's just right away place that next wall break, place that next Cocoon, and he's once again fighting the next black mine. So we can already see this entry is definitely seen by the base builders, so we need to be careful with that. The Superminions are dealing a ton of damage, but a nice freeze to prevent the Queen of going down with the enemy Warden together. The enemy Royal Champion taken down as well. Another 2 black mines. Oh my, this is looking so good for Vatang because they're so good with their Cocoons. There's another one. Can he?
Yeah.
No. Is this going to be another Okay, so no more black mines just yet. You already triggered 4 black mines. I think this is already a pretty good start into the queen charge.
Yeah, I think that was pretty flawless on the Coco Loons, to be honest with you. Even manages to protect one of them to take down that archer tower as well. So this is a fight. There we go again. So many black bombs going off in this area, and despite it being set up to try and take down a queen charge, he has charged this area anyway and protected all of those healers as the queen continues through. She can get the enemy queen, the Expo, before moving to the eagle. Healers took a lot of damage there, and down they go. But the queen has got the damage. I think as long as she gets the eagle, he can be relatively happy in what she has got, and the hybrid can then move on through the top. But sad not to keep that queen alive a little bit longer.
You hate to see it with the eagle targeting those healers. That's such an unfortunate thing, but either way, we have the hybrid now pushing into the back end. The Tesla farm is nicely dealt with this warden ability. The scatter is having no chance against the warden ability either, so a great use of that. Now the invisibility spell, you told us he might want to use this for redirecting the hybrid, so perfect use right there, making sure everything is going into the multi-inferno tower right away. Perfect use to make the pathing better, as you just said, and this is looking really good. Even though the queen died out, the only thing which he might have to worry about is the time. The time is ticking non-stop. The Roger ability to finish off the back end. The power should be enough as long as the time is enough, and this is looking really, really good for the first attack of Vatang. And this is starting off as our first match of the day with having 3 stars on both sides. Judo, that was just that queen charge with all of those Cocoons, that was crazy impressive.
That was one of the best Queen Charge hybrid attacks I have seen for a long time. The Queen Charge, so impressive, so precise. Then the invisibility spell was perfect to redirect them to the multi and scatter. But not only that, it kept the hybrid on the inside of the base as they moved to the back end. Oh my word, that was just incredible. Exactly what we expected from this matchup. I think both HT Family and Vatang are known for their creativity, and I'm sure the attacks will continue to get better and better if these are the attacks we have seen with the shortest amount of planning time.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's always the best plans in the beginning. But I still have to say, now for the next attack from HT Family, I want to see those Electro Dragons. It is something in watching that attack with like those chains taking down the entire base, and feel like one rage Electro Dragon taking down the entire core, things like that. It's just so enjoyable to watch. And let's see if it's going to be okay. Lalo, that's totally fine for me as well. I enjoy watching the Lalo of those pros. And we have Isk coming in for HT Family, and he's starting things off with his king and an ice golem. Supposed to going inside the eagle compartment, but I feel like this king is going to walk onto the outside, not making it into that compartment.
Yeah, the queen will get in there herself, but then she will be vulnerable. RC trying to take down this bottom section. As long as she can get the scatter, that will be good, but the expos are on her. I'm not sure she's going to get it. She does not. It survives with a tiny little bit of health, so he is going to have to do something sending in the balloon, and that's quite wise to try and send it in early, but with the scatter and using the queen ability, it redirected the scatter onto the loon.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Not taking down the scatter. The king walking around the outside. The king was supposed to tank. The king was supposed to tank for the defense, and now this one loon.
No look.
This is so unfortunate. Now he needs to send in the blimp, but the blimp. I mean, isn't the blimp supposed to take down the town? Maybe the core with the multi-inferno tower, but still, there is so much to go through. This town needs to go down as well. The scatter finally drops. And now it's all about the loons making it to this tower compartment, because otherwise, I mean, the next tower would be pretty appreciated, I think, at this point. So the nice freeze, making sure everything is getting into that town hall. And now we need that haze. We need that warden catching things up. Warden, come on, please.
Oh no! The warden got stuck with these skellies and the dragon, and the town hall has not gone down. He needed to adapt so much here, trying to use the lava hound to tank the scatter, then the blimp. but he put up such a risk to get to the town hall. The balloon, would you believe, does not have the haste either. He's going to have to use the rage to try and get everything to it. Uses the Grand Warden's ability for the dragon. Can he get it into? He has rescued the 2-star. Wow, that is exactly what HT family needed. He must have been shaking so much, and this attack is pretty close to the 3.
Wow, that Warden just being too interested in those ground skeletons, but then in the end, getting the comeback with that rage, with that dragon in that Warden ability. Oh, wow. I'm so happy that this was not a 1-star. This would be so unfortunate. In the beginning of this clan war of the match, that would be really unfortunate. We have seen already what this is doing to a team. And I feel like at this stage, I'm 100% guaranteed that everyone, like in the voice of HT family, is going to be awake, because they were like, I think they were like over 9,000 during that attack, like screaming, yelling, and everything. Like there were a lot of things going on, I think.
Oh, most definitely trying to just adapt as you went along. But that is where we talked earlier about the experience at the highest level. That is where you can't gain that type of experience unless you do get to these final stages of competitions, and something like that happens where you do have to really hold it together, holding on to that rage spell so that he could just power everything to the town hall was definitely the best call he made. Arguably, the Grand Warden kind of put him in that position and rescued the 2-star, but I would have loved to have seen what could have happened if he had have kept the balloons alive. Nevertheless, they do get the 2 stars. It was a relatively high percentage, but Vatang could now take the lead.
Yeah, that's right. And we have seen already the attacks of Vatang. They're so strong. And now we have Lance Loader coming in with those Inferno Dragons. And he is, let's see, going in with the Yeti first, trying to funnel a little bit over there. And then I'm not really sure yet what the plan is going to be. If the plan is going to be to send in the blimp for the town hall early, going to wait. Depending on the sweeper, I would say that it's going to be delayed, because so far it looks like the one sweeper is covering the town hall, so I don't think the blimp would reach it alone. And now we have the Inferno Dragons starting off from the top left side. And then as soon as the clan caster, as the building is going down, he's going to start off with his heroes at the top right side as well.
Well, the battle blimp is slowly moving along towards that town hall, uses these skellies nice and quickly on the inside of the base to distract the Expos and the Eagle Artillery. Also has the Tesla in that area. Town hall goes down, should hopefully get a couple of extra buildings here with the Yetis, and the Tornado Trap is over in that area, so he knows he's not going to have the Inferno Dragons all rotated into one spot, although they are starting to go to the outside of the base. He doesn't have a lot of force moving down over, but I think that's actually what he wants, for the Inferno Dragons to loop up over and then back down with his heroes, Itsu.
Yeah, this is looking really good so far for him. He's now sending in the Royal Gem from the left side to make sure that he's able to place cleanup early. Not sure if that's the best choice, because the Royal Gem has to face a lot of cannons, which are not the most important things to take down, considering that he's using Inferno Dragons. But still, it should be alright. Time-wise, he's looking pretty good. Royal Gem ability could be used really soon, which he's doing right now to take down at least a couple of more buildings. Now it's all about the back. And the Inferno Dragons, as I said, are now struggling with the defense. That's where I would have liked to see the Royal Gem to come in. Like, why would you take down the ground defense, like cannons, mortars, things like that, when you could take down a couple of air defenses? And that's exactly what is the case right now, with this Queen trying to do her best, but I don't think that is going to be enough.
It's not, especially with that scatter shot. Wow, it could have been so different there, but it is going to be Vatang with the slight advantage on percentage. I find it interesting that both of these teams have started up with the exact players in the exact order that they did in the previous round. Lance Lauter was actually the only player not to 3-star for Vatang. So from this moment on, each of their players 3-starred in the last round. And for HT family, each of their players got 3 stars, apart from the final hit, which was a 96%. So it's really going to be interesting here as to how the rest of the attacks, if they follow the same order, continue to heat up if they were to follow that same pattern.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is good for Vatang right now, having their attacker, which did not triple the last time, already off the board. I'm not really sure. Either way, this match so far is really close. Starting off once again really strong, as we said, with the best plans in the beginning, and then like slowly like calming down a little bit. And then at the end again, we have some nicely saved ideas. Let's put it like that. So really looking forward. I think this middle part of a clan war is always the most important thing, because that's where most of the plans are that are not as promising maybe. So let's see if HG Family can make the next plan work, can make the next attack work in itself. And let's see what they're going to go with. I'm still hoping for the Electro Dragons, though. I'm still hoping for those Electro Dragons. To see them and see what type of magic HG Family can do with them.
Totally. It is anybody's matchup, basically, at this point. I think it is going to be just whatever comes down to the day. We know that each and every one of the players here have the talent to 3-star, but how creative can they get? Maybe HT Family do need to go back to their Electro Dragon attack. As you've mentioned, they are specialists with it, so perhaps they will find bases, but it's going to be the regular dragons for this one. So a similar attack, but using the lightning spells to take down an air defense and the Eagle Artillery alongside that Expo Itsu.
Yeah, I'm always like happy at one side seeing dragons and especially like the lightning combination, but at the same time knowing that so far this strategy has a hit rate of 0%. I'm not really sure. Let's hope that ICU from HG Family somehow can like just keep going with their crazy performance with this air type of strategies. So dragons are slowly getting placed in as well, in combination with those loons, already triggering the first black mines, which is great. The next black mine is getting triggered as well. Having those out of the way early is always a huge thing. And now slowly making it into the base, into the scattered compartment, with the defending clan castle now showing up as well.
Yeah, he nicely throws the enemy queen alongside the defenses there just to help the dragons, but he is having the dragons pulled off quite a bit down to the bottom here with the defending clan castle troops. Maybe that was the plan, and to allow the battle blimp through alongside the heroes. But I do feel this is a very similar base to what we seen the dragons attack with last week, and it was unsuccessful. Just get the battle blimp through to the town hall. That is going to go down, and he's still got a lot of dragons left up, Itsu, alongside the royal champion yet to be deployed, and 2 giants presumably to tank for the royal champion to move in.
Yeah, trying his best to somehow push through the back, and I mean, it's still looking not too bad, to be honest, with that royal champion now getting placed as well. The back end of Fern Tower is set to multi, which is great for that royal champion, especially having the queen as well. Now the next giant to tank for the royal champion. This is a lot of hit points, making sure that he's nicely tanking for the royal champion with the royal champion ability still left. Judo, I think he has done it. He has gotten the 3-star with the dragons, and I have to say, it didn't look that great in the beginning with the dragons splitting up and everything, but this was a really, really nice attack. So, I mean, let's see. This should be the next 3-star, and it's a kind of quick one as well.
Yes, ICU should probably use the Royal Champion's ability to try and just speed things up here. Does get the 3 stars to switch things back around for HT Family and make sure that they keep their momentum going. I don't think they are going to worry too much about Vatang. They are just going to concentrate on their game. And what I like about that attack was the finer details towards the end. Sometimes you can plan your attacks, but then kind of forget about the end of the base, or not necessarily forget, just not really know what's going to happen when you get there. But it seemed like he had a plan for each and every aspect of the base there, and perhaps those giants could have been a good introduction to the strategy or the attack that we've seen previously with the dragons, where the royal champion did unfortunately go down to the cannons, like you said.
Yeah, those giants are always a great addition to the royal champion, because it's like the royal champ on the back end is just so incredibly strong, taking down the back end defenses, especially most of the time, which we have seen now a couple of times, is the back end air defense. It's nearly always a back end air defense in those bases, and having like the dragons to face that, like getting through all of the back end with like storages, maybe even the back-end eagle, things like that, is not the easiest thing to have. So having the royal champ on the back end is key for those attacks, I feel like. And HG Family did a great job of making this somehow work. And now we have the next attack. Young Han actually coming in with some super witches, which is kind of uncommon, seeing him like most of the time doing Lalo attacks.
Yes, we did see how good he was with the Lalo attacks last week. I do just want to quickly say, though, if you are watching and you did just listen to that conversation, that is your key takeaway from this stream. Consider using 1 or 2 giants before you send in your royal champion. Do consider that before your next war attack. Anyways, we have the lightning spell in towards the scatter shot, taking that down. Just making sure that when the Grand Warden takes down the defenses on the perimeter here, he's also got a huge funnel set up. And I always like having that little combination of the Grand Warden walk and the lightning spells, because it very effectively and very quickly takes apart a huge chunk of the base. And we all know how important time is with the Super Witches. A rather early deployment here, only 40 seconds in, Nitsu.
Yeah, but the pathing, as you said, is set up. The queen now is doing her work as well to push all of the super witches inside in combination with that king. They should be able to go for the enemy town hall soon, I would say, but maybe they're just getting dragged around the outside of this base with the elephant still being up. Hopefully they're now getting back, or getting hopefully inside the base. So far it seems like that's going to be the case. The first loons are hitting those black mines, that's perfectly. Now the warden ability, once again, to keep all of those loon, or to keep the loon flying into the base, seeking for some more black mines, because those can be so devastating to the strategy. The problem for him, though, is that those super witches and the queen are not going inside, but instead are walking around the outside.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, particularly because the air sweeper is pushing the healers back as well, so he's not really got too much health on the witches that did make it into the center. They are slowly making it through, but he just doesn't have the tankage that he wanted. I think the fact that he only brought 1 jump spell, he basically wanted his pack of super witches into the middle to tank all of the defenses so the royal champion could move through. But as you see, she is taking fire from all of the expos, and she will go down super quick here, meaning it just has not happened in this attack. And it's going to be a relatively low percentage as well here for Vatang, unfortunately.
Yeah, the queen still with her ability though, but I mean, even with that, with the ground expo on the back end, the eagle now targeting those healers, I don't think, as I said, it's going to be a ton of percentage. And that's never a good thing. Now the healers are going down, the red mine are going to finish them off. Maybe 1 or 2 more beatings, but this is, for this match, not the highest, with like around like 85% or something. So that was an unfortunate ending, and this means HG Family bases once again are holding strong.
We have seen how good their bases are. As we mentioned, they held off Aphelion in the previous round, who had got a perfect war, held off every single one of their attacks. We mentioned at the start of this war how it was kind of offense versus defense. The defense side obviously being slanted towards HT Family because Vatang was so strong in their attacks in the previous round, but so far the bases of HT Family have been working out. So it is more the defensive side of things which is making the big difference here in this war. But you've got to say, HT Family at this point, 2 3-stars out of 3 attacks, they are keeping the attacking pressure on Vatang as well.
Yeah, that's right. And they have the percentage lead as well. So that's something to note in as well. So HG Family for sure having the momentum right now. And I feel like if they would put up the next 3-star in their next attack, this would be a lot of pressure on the enemy team on Vatang, because this means even if they would like get the 3-star then as well, like getting that 3-star with already knowing that they're still 1 triple behind is obviously not the best feeling. And now we have Jin Mu coming in, and this one is going to be another P.E.K.K.A smash with it ton of super wizards, 5 overall, and we have 4 P.E.K.K.A as well. So no witches, but 1 Valkyrie as well, just in case if there are some stacked ground skeleton traps, just to take them out.
Jinmu did get the 3 stars in his previous match for HT family, and like you said, if he gets it here, Vatang would have to go perfect in order to win this war. So it is arguably one of the most important attacks of the war right here. Using the Grand Warden to take out the multi-target Inferno, does have that balloon sneaking in to test for any traps as well, but also help with the damage. Just about deploys the Queen quick enough before the Grand Warden went astray. He's managed to pull the Grand Warden back around, and with the P.E.K.K.A being deployed ahead of that 1 minute mark we always talk about in terms of getting your troops in, it looks pretty good here with the funnel already set up to the top with the King, who will also dive in towards the Town Hall, but with the Tesla and Skellies, I'm not sure he's going to get it, so the Battle Blimp is going to have to finish it off.
Yeah, but now all of those P.E.K.K.A walking around the outside, getting lured onto the outside is not the best thing, and the Warden just followed those P.E.K.K.A because they have so many hit points and everything that he's just like following them, and the troops inside the base do not have the best time over there. The healers are trying their best to keep the one P.E.K.K.A, to keep the Queen alive, and now all of this entry turned into a huge Queen charge, and the Queen can now take down the entire base, which is actually looking pretty good, considering that the Queen can take down the next Expo easily, and then he's going to use the poison onto that enemy Queen just to make sure that his own Queen is not going to die. So there's the poison, nicely done. His Queen should stay alive, and the outside is going strong still with the Warden, with those 2 to 3 P.E.K.K.A still being alive.
Yeah, I was going to say, this looks very good actually, because the RC wasn't deployed. There she is from the right-hand side, and the fact that there are openings in the wall means that the P.E.K.K.A could get into the base. Shredding everything on the outside means the Royal Champion can hopefully jump over there and take down the scatter shot. With the ability, it could happen, but my main concern, Itsu, is time, particularly with the Queen now going down. The Royal Champion will be the final troop. Is she even going to get it, actually? Oh, it just didn't happen. The P.E.K.K.A moving on the outside, unfortunately, was too much here for Jin Mu. Thought he might have been able to rescue it with the Queen on the inside of the base, but time is the unfortunate factor yet again in the attacks. He is fortunate that the RC has survived here, though, Itsu. She will finish off a couple of extra buildings, and in a war like this where it is super tight, it is always going to come down to the percentage, and you always want to make sure you have the highest possible. 97% is definitely nothing to sniff at.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like now taking a look at the percentage game is, even if Vatang is going to 3-star now, that we have still a percentage lead for HD family. So really, really good, making sure that yes, they did not get 3-star, but at least in the percentage game they're still ahead, even if Vatang is going to a 3-star. So that's really good news for HD family. So let's see if Vatang can just keep putting up some 3-stars, because so far, as you said in the last week matchups, they were doing pretty crazy things, and I feel like not sure if the bases are just different or not sure what exactly is going on, but we have not seen any crazy Suilalo approaches so far from Vatang. Not sure if they're just saying, okay, we don't see any of those plans. Not sure if they're saying, okay, maybe HG family and Vatang knowing each other a little bit too well, so they kind of scared off baits. Really not sure what is going on over here, because it kind of feels like complete different team with the approach to some of those attacks, but instead we're going to see once again those super witches from Diff this time.
Yeah, maybe the bases have just shut down a lot of Vatang's plans. Diff actually gave us a percentage of the different attacks he likes to use, Lalo being 50% of the time his method of choice, and the P.E.K.K.A Smash Witch Smash style attack he only uses 5% of the time. So he obviously felt all of the other strategies were shut down from this base. Now you have to say, taking down the Town Hall early, I always feel is good from a Grand Warden walk, because it does give you the flexibility with the ability, but for these Super Witches, it's all about just trying to use the ability to protect your healers and the damage once you're into the center of the base, I feel.
I just saw the second where the Warden ability was delayed, because he had to use the Queen ability and the Warden ability at the same time. So this is really unfortunate. And well, this is the Queen ability lost already that early. And take a look at those Black Mines. this is a beauty of a bait from HG Family, once again showing off why they are so strong on defense. There's only one healer left at this point. Every single black man was connecting to those healers. We have the king on the other side as well. We have the Royal Champion now in the bottom side doing some work. But with only one healer alive, those witches have not the most fun time inside the base. The king as well doing some great work. But once again, the core just died out because there's not the healing power you need to keep all of those witches alive. So I'm blown away by those defenses from HG Family. They somehow appear to read every single attack of Vatang and successfully defend them.
They are doing it again and again. It's not just the one-off. Making sure that in these styles of attacks you protect your healers is the takeaway for you. If you are attacking with P.E.K.K.A Smash or anything like that, you have just seen a prime example as to why you need the Coco Loons in order to try and help protect your healers. But like you said, that was all the base building. He did all of that stuff. There was just too many black bombs to get through, and HT Family yet again putting up a defense and coming down to the final attack. All they need to do now is finish this off. It is in their hands to close out the war.
Yeah, and I feel like at this point, we see the difference in between of the top teams. I mean, at this point, we started with 24 teams, and all of them were incredibly good. All of them really high up there in community leagues, and now we're down to 8. And those 8 teams are obviously few of the best teams in the entire world. And now we can see in most of those matchups, we have seen the importance of defense. Like, for example, this last attack, we saw it was like a 90% attack. And we definitely know that if all of those black mines would have not been there, this attack would have been definitely 3-star. Like, the plan was working great. But those teams making sure they're baiting all of those entries, this is what the best of the very best, like this is the difference maker in between of those two, like the highest level of the teams. I feel like, and this is what we've seen so far in nearly every single match, where we had one team really struggling to have somehow, like getting a chance somehow into the match, with the other team having so strong bases.
Yes, absolutely, because as we've mentioned, you can't really have a base that defends everything. So it's trying to have a base that looks easy, but then you have the bait to trip your opponent up. So it is fire in the firing line here for HT Family, the final person to try and close out the war from them. And let's see if he can do this. The Inferno Dragons are his method of choice. He's already set up the funnel with them, diving straight in towards the Town Hall. Always a good choice to just get it down early on with the Grand Warden's ability. And the Stone Slammer just moving in towards the multi-target Inferno, because you can take a lot of damage onto the Inferno Dragons if you're not careful with splash damage.
Yeah, and this looks great so far, but I have to say, I would have liked to see one Electro Dragon attack from HG Family, especially Fire, who is saying Electro Dragons is like his special thing. So let's see if it was worth it to switch over to the Inferno Dragons and make sure they can somehow work, because we have the Royal Champion already down at the top side, trying to somehow get to the enemy scatter. We know how important those scatters are. We know how important it is to take those scatters down with attacking with those Inferno Dragons. And we can see the back end as well. The back end is with the Eagle. And the Eagle is just keep shooting non-stop. And it's dealing so much damage. But at this point, the Inferno Tower in the core is been taken down by the Royal Champion. Now it's all about the back end, all about the King and the Queen.
Yes, and he does not need the 3 stars here either. He actually... Well, I think he's already done it, Itsu. I think he only needed the 82%-ish in order to win this war. So I think he's done it. Even if he doesn't get the 3-star, and Vatang did, they wouldn't be able to count up on percentage. We will get clarification of that in a second. It's not going to be the 3-star, but I think it is enough with the percentage. Fire using the Inferno Dragons, not the Electro Dragons, as we might have wanted to see for one of them, like you said, but a 95% 2-star. Is it enough? I'm pretty sure it is. Let's take a look at the scoreboard once it's updated.
Yeah, once it's updated. And I think it should be enough, like considering that 92% in this last attack, and they had a pretty good percentage lead already. So I feel like that should be definitely enough. But either way, we would love to see a 3-star for Vatang. And yes, it is enough. 20%
Totally
would be worth a 3-star. And yeah, Vatang can't do it anymore. So we have the winner already set, but still, we're going to see the last attack of Vatang. But I want to talk about this one more time because I feel like it's so inspiring to see always offense versus defense. I feel like in every single match, maybe except the 11 original versus alternate match, but I feel like in every other match, we always had this incredible defense from one of the teams. We had this with Tom Pina Empire. We had this with Indian Clashers. Both teams did an amazing job on defense. And the same way with HD Family, once again, holding back Vatang to only 1 out of 4 attacks, successful 3-star attacks. So that is impressive, especially seeing Vatang last week getting 14 stars against Method to Madness. That is a good achievement, I would say.
Yes, and it's one thing that you often can't appreciate when you're watching the stream, because there has been hours and hours, if not days and days, if you were to put the hours together, of testing the bases, building the bases, testing the bases. There's so much work that goes into that, and the base building team definitely has to have a shout out for each of the teams, because you don't often get that feel when you're just watching the stream as to how important it is. But it is Urek of Vatang to finish things off here, see if he can get a 3-star and let Vatang leave in style using the P.E.K.K.A. Smash.
Yeah, Warthog really early on, he's trying to go for this enemy eagle. Let's see if those collectors on the left side, though, are going to lure over the Warden. But so far it looks like, yeah, the Warden's going to take down the next Elixir Collector, and then he's going to just take down... Oh, wait! He's just, like, starting the Queen, making sure just the Eagle had a quick and nice funnel, and now he's going to walk around the Eagle, most likely. And then maybe some delayed loons onto that Eagle, something like that. We have already the funnel going on the top right. 1 Archer against the multi-mortar. I would take that trade any day. 1 housing space versus 1 mortar. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, particularly when you're not going to do anything up in that area, you can allow the Archer to just slowly chip away, and it is an interesting start here. Transitioning from the Grand Warden Walk to the Queen Walk, and now we see the P.E.K.K.A. Smash coming in, just speeding the process up by using the Queen, and it's an interesting variant that you don't often see within this style of attack, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right, but oh my... Take a look at the next wall break. This wall break is so beautiful, giving all of his troops the power to get into the next layer of the defense. The next wall break, once again, giving the next... Oh, this is looking so good from Urek. Such a clean entry so far. Now it's all about for the troops, though, to get into the core as well, because so far, every single P.E.K.K.A. went into the outside.
Yeah, beautiful freeze spell on the inside of the base there to get the multi and the Queen. Arguably protected all of the Super Wizards as they finish things off. Town Hall falls with the Battle Blimp moving in to the back end of the base. He now has P.E.K.K.A. moving around the top. Queen through the center onto the scatter. Now presses the ability with the RC down to the other side of the base. We have a 3-pronged attack going on to finish things off. RC ability is the only thing left, and it is used. He cannot do anything else now but watch and wait to see if he gets the 3-star. And Itsu, I'm pretty sure that he will here. Troops all over the map with 35 seconds remaining. There we go. Finishing off in style for Vatang, putting up the 12-12 war. But it is going to be HT Family that win this one on percentage and will move forward to face Indian Clashers in next week's matches. Fantastic job to HT Family.